Hello, everyone. This is Yana Ludwig. I am running to be Wyoming's next U.S. Senator, and I'm going to get this out of the way right here at the start. Uh, this little session was paid for by Yana for Wyo. So, 13 months ago, when we first started this campaign, we had a whole bunch of people immediately saying, "You are way too radical." But it feels like things have very quickly caught up with us in the last year. So, what sounded too radical when we started? So, number one was Medicare for all. And interestingly enough, we have watched one of the other Democratic candidates very quickly switch his talk from sort of Medicare for all who want it to saying I really want Medicare for all, but still taking half measures instead of planting a flag in the ground and calling for it. But COVID-19 has gotten a whole lot of people on board. Those of us who already struggled with a lack of health care knew years ago that a single payer system was the way to go, and 70% of Americans now agree with us. And asking for anything less is a disservice to the American people at this point. And I'm still the only one unambiguously saying it in this race. The second was worker ownership, which is a concept that we have introduced thousands of Wyomingites to in this last year. And it makes so much immediate sense to people when they learn about it that we actually got it into the Democratic Party platform for the state very easily. We are seeing a lot less of the kind of socialism is too radical talk among Democrats as people have come to understand better what that word actually means. Then there's public banking, which we not only got into the state platform, but a Republican state rep showed up with what appeared to be pretty genuine curiosity to our town hall. We are promoting this more actively now because of the timing of the state's deepened financial woes, but it has actually been in our platform since day one, along with postal banking, which turns out to have also been really well timed given the Trump administration's attempts to kill the Postal Service. And finally, there's police reform, which has seen one of the most rapid changes in public sentiment of any issue in my lifetime. But I was working on this a year and a half ago, and again, it's something that we were talking about 13 months ago. So we need leadership that can actually lead, that sees around the corner to anticipate what is coming, not more elected officials that are just going to passively wait and then jump on the bandwagon when it's obvious that something is becoming popular. So, leadership means sometimes adopting and holding to a currently unpopular opinion, knowing that it is the right thing, and helping to create an environment where it becomes the popular opinion. So, I am willing and able to do that. So, today, in this moment when the world has noticeably caught up with us, I am doing something that I've actually not done, I think, at any point during the last 13 months. I am flat out asking you to vote for me. I have told you where I stand on dozens of issues. I've shared my background, talked about how I got to the positions that I have, and today I am asking you to act on that, get your ballot, and fill in the bubble next to Yana Ludwig for US Senate. So, we are the campaign that has demonstrated the best ability to tune into where our world is headed and accurately anticipate what those real needs are. I'm the only candidate who has a really strong track record of speaking truth to power and asking for what we really need because I'm not just a policy wonk and a nonprofit director and a facilitator, but I've been an activist for over 30 years. We need that energy in DC right now. If we are afraid of asking for what people really want and need, we will get nothing. That is what the drift to the right in this country has demonstrated amply over the last decades. Of the 16 candidates who are running to be Wyoming's next US Senator, no one is better poised to be doing that speaking truth to power and clear advocating work than me. We have a likely Republican winner on their side in the primary who has nearly $1 million in the bank for the general election. Nobody on the Democratic side is going to be able to compete with that in dollars. So we need to be competing with that in terms of clarity, in terms of vision, and in terms of passion. We are not going to be able to win this unless we have someone in there who is bold and fearless. So I've been speaking out for years, writing letters, listening, and then leading campaigns based on what people are telling me they need, organizing, advocating, writing, and speaking. Activists are basically the conscience of a culture. We see what is wrong and what is inadequate, and we are willing to put ourselves out there to change those things. Right now, our world needs activists. We are dealing with a global pandemic, an economic collapse, social uprisings, and ecological collapse as well. Any one of those would be good enough reason to look for people ready to do something different in DC. But we have all of those things happening simultaneously. There is nothing low stakes about this moment, and I am asking you to be bold with me and to see the big enough picture to know that we're not just fighting against a bad administration. We are also needing to fight some much bigger fights for all of our sakes. So here we are, and primary voting is already happening in Wyoming. We are deciding right now if we are going to have someone willing to really take on the Republican nominee, no matter how much of a Goliath they are, and fight for us or not. So please get your ballot and get it back into the mail with my bubble filled in. I genuinely believe that Wyoming, and I mean both the people and this beautiful, beautiful place that we live in, deserves a real advocate finally in Washington, D.C. Thanks.